Hello, hello, hello. So, I need to go back to the intersection at where the accident occurred at yesterday, because I have to redo this video again. It wasn't going to let me earlier. Um, yes, you do see flashing lights behind me. Those are on this vehicle. I will show you the outside of this vehicle here shortly. The incident happened January 15th, 2019 at 6:55 a.m. So it was about as light as it is right now. Um, use my passenger windows for reference on the amount of light because my driver window is showing blinding light right now because of the difference in the amount of light between inside the vehicle and outside. I do have cameras on this vehicle and they record all the time. I'm using my phone to be live at the moment because and yes, you do see that the vehicle is very tore up on the inside. That is because this is a work-only vehicle. I do automotive repossessions, private security, and I also deliver newspapers. Okay. Now let's see if I can go ahead and switch cameras so I can see what you see. So I can make sure that I'm showing you everything. Okay. That's the view out my driver mirror. Okay. That is the view out my passenger mirror. That is my dash camera facing forward. That is the view I have out the back mirror. Yeah, the entire width of my back window, and that thing that you see in the bottom of the back window is another camera. Now, the reason why my top is torn is because I was trying to find this thing because my sunroof was jammed in the open position and I needed to put an Allen wrench in that because I thought that was going to be over here with a little gearbox. I was wrong. Okay, now for the outside of the vehicle. You can see that it is a 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee with nothing but LED lights all the way around. You see that I have caution lights on the roof, which are even visible from the rear. You also see I have caution lights on the rear, LED lights and the tail lights. And there you can see the camera. It is looking through a bit of dirt today. That's very fixable. That is a Scorch DDVR 2ST dash cam mounted upside down in my back window. You also see this. You also see a 14,000 pound capacity hitch mounted upside down. to give myself some extra clearance. See the damage to my vehicle from the accident that happened on the 15th. There, you see the backup camera. That is mounted on the dash. I will show you what it looks like when the vehicle's in reverse. Which I need to back up a couple of feet. Okay, so you saw the camera. Now, this is what I'm able to see from my driver door while I'm sitting in the vehicle. And yes, I'm holding the camera outside the vehicle, but that is the correct height. And okay, video got interrupted for some reason. Alright, so anyway, this is the intersection where the accident occurred. That is Sierra Drive. At that light pole, which is turned off, that is Sierra Court. This is St. Clair. This road is wide enough for 3 vehicles, possibly 4. Here, yet at the time of the incident, there was a pickup truck with a trailer parked, with the nose of the truck approximately there. So I had nowhere to turn around because their driveway was blocked. I had brought a package to my friend's house, and you can use that car's reference to see how wide the street is. Now, you can also see, which I will walk to the front of my vehicle to show you, the entire front of that house and driveway. Looking through the vehicle, you can see the same thing. Now, you can still see some plastic bits from the accident. These have been pushed from the original location. You can see that her driveway is not directly across from the intersection. I was there when she decided to back out to here. This is where the 2 vehicles made contact. She was still moving at the time of the impact, in reverse, while turning. So not only was she on the incorrect side of the road when she backed out into my path, which she got caught by that hitch in her front bumper, but she backed out into traffic, and she also backed out after, and she admitted this to the police officer in front of me and in front of his body camera. She admitted that she backed out after seeing that I was backing up as I am now. And I just did the exact same thing again. Now, I am going to sit in the same position that Tammy was sitting in. She is the owner of this vehicle. She was in her Tahoe at the time of the incident. I'm going to show you what she was able to see from a lower angle. Keeping in mind that a Chevy Tahoe does sit up higher than this. I have to wait for this kid to go past. So I don't. Now, as you can see the entire stop sign. You can see her garage and everything. I'm going to guess that the Tahoe would have the driver sitting up about here. So you can see the entire intersection. You can see everything that happened. And given that those bushes are below the height of my driver door window, they're actually below the height of my mirror. And you can see down that low, and that pile of snow there is below the height of my knees when I'm standing outside. That right there shows, and that pickup truck is perfect reference, that she was able to see the entire accident from here. The insurance company, State Farm, has refused to accept her testimony as a witness, simply because she was not in this vehicle with me. As such, I believe that the insurance company has committed an act of fraud, acting on behalf of the other party. I was given a ticket for improper backing, as is policy for Pekin, Illinois. I don't know if that's actually true or not. I do not believe that I was backing up improperly, given the fact that the road was clear of all traffic when I started backing up. The other individual backed out of her driveway into traffic. So there's an improper backing citation there, and a failure to yield to traffic citation as well. I found out from the insurance company that she was not given any tickets at all. I will be requesting a copy of the officer's body camera footage for use as evidence, so that I can both fight the ticket and also so that I can sue State Farm for improper handling of the case and improper investigation, because they refuse to accept the photographs that I have of the damage. I also offered to provide a copy of the video footage from my rear-facing camera. The initial person I spoke to was going to accept it. And I already delivered those, okay. The primary person who was performing the claim, who was investigating for the claim, refused to accept it at all. I also mentioned that she admitted that she saw me backing up before she backed out to the police officer on the scene, and they refused to even attempt to recover that footage to use as evidence against her. As an automotive repossessor, I know several other automotive repossessors. And my camera is out of focus. we go. I found out by use of her license plate that her car is actually up for repossession. I believe that, and it is a used car, it is a BMW S-Class sedan. I believe that she caused the accident intentionally to be able to commit insurance fraud, to be able to catch up on her car payments, or even try to pay it off. She was not injured, neither was I, nor her daughter. The reason I know this is because I was doing less than 5 miles per hour at the time of the incident. And I know that I was doing less than 5 miles per hour because A, I was in reverse. B, my speedometer didn't even flinch. Which, with my speedometer not even moving, and the lowest speed that it's able to show above 0 is 10 miles per hour. And the 0 mark is at approximately where the 5 mile per hour mark would be at. That right there is enough evidence to show that I was going less than 5 miles per hour. So in other words, and another thing that tells me that I was doing less than 5 miles per hour, at the same time I was backing up across the intersection, there was I'm going to guess, probably a 16 or 17-year-old individual that was walking across the intersection at the same time. And they were next to my driver door the whole time. And we were actually talking. I said, "Good morning." He said, "Good morning," back to me. I asked him how he was doing and what he thought about the weather. He said he was doing all right. He was just concerned about a test that he had to take in school today. Okay, that's understandable. I told him good luck on the test and asked him if he was ready for the snow that's supposed to be coming this weekend. We did get a thin layer of snow this morning, but it's already melted off the roadways. Okay, 2101. And you notice that every time I have to look away from the road, I stop. That's because I have to look down at my list to see, and now I'm waiting for 2 cars to pass me so I can go to the other side of the road to be able to deliver my newspapers. And I need to relocate this. Give me just a moment, people. Oh shit. I think it's stuck. Give me a moment. That thing really sticks. Holy crap. Not that good. But okay. Yeah. Turn that away. Okay. Stick that on the dash right there. Adjust it. Now let's get the phone back in the mount. Now let's go ahead and turn the camera so you can see what I see. Okay. Yes, I did deliver that paper. Alright. Now you've already seen the lights that I have on the outside of this vehicle. So you know I'm very noticeable. And every time someone comes toward me, I either stop or slow down to a crawl depending on how fast they're moving. Okay. That's a double. All right. I wouldn't let the city catch you pushing snow out onto the street, because they can actually write a ticket for that. It's only like $50 if you ended up trying to pay the ticket off or whatever, but it's still BS that they don't let you do that so that the plow can take and push the snow somewhere else. But they actually tried to do it to me once. Huh? Yeah, in the state of Illinois, they can actually write you a ticket which costs approximately $50 if you push your snow from your driveway out onto the street, like this individual did here. They can actually write you a ticket and charge you up to a $50 fine. And what the ticket actually is impeding the flow of traffic and creating a hazardous situation, or creating a road hazard, something along those lines. This was explained to me by a city police officer. I called county to find out if it was the same in more than one city. They said yes. It's actually state law or state statute or regulation, however you want to call it. Morning. Got your newspaper for you. Your regular carrier quit back on Saturday, so I'm going to be handling this route myself for a while. I'm actually one of the supervisors for the Pekin area. I'm one of the 3 supervisors for Pekin area. I oversee the subs, the substitute carriers, and this route is a little messed up right now, so I'm delivering it myself. For the next while, until I get the route fixed and get it memorized, so that way I can get it done a little bit quicker. It is going to be a little bit late. Yeah. No, nobody did, because your carrier quit on Saturday about halfway through this route because she had fallen 3 times in the 3 days leading up to that, because people were either A, not clearing their walkways and salting, or B, not leaving their outside light on so that she could see to get up there, or C, all of the above. Well, with me, given that you have that slot under your mailbox during the winter, I'll always use that, unless you have a problem walking. Because a lot of the customers are older and have problem walking on their own without a cane or some other kind of support. So if because, like, for example, if you do have a problem walking without additional support, I can put it against your garage door so you don't even have to come outside to get it. It's up to you on where you want it. It doesn't matter to me, because either way I don't have to get out. So you pick. Oh, that's where I turn in the driveway and pull up. So you want it by your door? Okay. I'll mark you down as putting it at your garage door, and that way we can make sure that it always ends up there year round, because yeah, she ended up with a concussion last time she fell, so she had no choice but to give it up. So, but yeah, I'll toss it so it's on the side closest to your address there, so that way it's easy to see, and you won't ever have to worry about stepping out on ice or snow yourself. Keep an eye out in the bag that your paper comes in, because I bag them all the time during winter. I'm gonna have a flyer with my contact info in it, so that way if you don't see your paper, you can get in touch with me. I'll also have my P.O. box on there, because supervisors and subs don't get tips that are sent through the paper company. Most regular carriers don't get them that way either, because they don't process the tip till about 2 or 3 months later. Okay. You'd be surprised how many customers I've actually had send cash through the mail. They'll take and stick it inside of a Christmas card or something and mail the whole thing, and I'm like, really? All right. Okay, well, you just heard my conversation with the customer there. In case of anyone in the Pekin, Illinois area seeing this video, or if you're in the Peoria, Washington, Morton, Metamora, Pekin, Creve Coeur, Bartonville, anywhere in that area, and you want a job making any kind of extra money, you can go to the warehouse on Taylor Street in East Peoria. That is off of Springfield Road between Washington Street and Main Street. Springfield Road also intersects with Washington Street, and Springfield Road both intersect with Main Street, and then they intersect with each other because Springfield Road actually curves. And if you go from Main Street onto Springfield Road, you can only go in one direction, right there. And as such, and that thing you see fly across the window every so often is actually a newspaper that I have thrown to a customer's driveway. But anyway, if you leave from Main Street in East Peoria, turning onto Springfield Road, follow it around the curve. When you get to Taylor Street, which is the intersection just before Washington, just before Washington Road actually has a stoplight. Taylor Street does not have a stop sign or stoplight of any kind if you are on Springfield Road. If you are on Taylor Street, you do have stop signs. On another note, I actually got a ticket for doing exactly what I did here, which is stop on the left side of the road to put a newspaper in a mailbox slot like that one. That was in Marquette Heights. And I got a ticket for being on the wrong side of the road when I was delivering that paper. The ticket was issued by a Marquette Heights police sergeant. And our job actually required, because we don't have European style vehicles, because we're not postal carriers, we have to go on the left side of the road to be able to do our job. I tried to explain that to the officer, and he wasn't going to hear it at all. So he issued the citation anyway. And the officer actually got very annoyed and attempted to take my pen to mark out where I signed at, because I put UCC 1-308 on the same lane, on the same line that I put my signature. He got very angry and attempted to snatch my ink pen out of my hand to be able to try to and this is the ticket. Improper lane usage, violated median. Okay, and you see he marked daytime, snow. And that right there shows that it would have been hazardous, and I would have been at risk for personal injury had I gotten out of the car to try to walk up to the house. And as it shows, the house is at the corner right there at the intersection. I came off of Kaskaskia and turned the corner to deliver a newspaper to that house, and then I backed up into their driveway, which is right by where their mailbox post is, so that I could turn around to be able to go back onto Kaskaskia. And while I was in the driveway, he up and blocked me in the driveway, and then walked around the front of my vehicle, because the nose of his vehicle was in front of the front of his vehicle, from about the front edge of his front tire forward to the bumper was in front of my vehicle, blocking me in. He's a police officer. I can understand doing that when you want to stop someone and make them leave. But he then got out of his car, walked between the two vehicles, which was dangerous on his part, and I had rolled down my passenger window so that he could approach me from that side, so that way he could see, so that way we could communicate that way, so he didn't have to worry about going between the vehicles, trying to be a little bit safer for him. Because I didn't know why he was trying to stop me. I was doing my job. And I was doing it in the way that I was told to do it by my employer when I initially started 5 years ago. And I was also following the instructions on the route guide, which I can actually show you here. This is an example of a route guide. It tells you whether it's on the left side of the road or the right side of the road. It tells you which way to turn. It also tells you where it's supposed to go. That right there is instruction from the employer. That means that if I don't do it the way that they tell me, I lose my job. And they will get somebody else to do it the same exact way. That guide says to do it. So in other words, I either lose my job or I do exactly what I did. And later today I will post up another video, because I will go into Marquette Heights and show you the exact intersection. I am going to submit this video as my evidence for both cases, the traffic accident that I was involved in on the 15th and the ticket that I was given on the 16th. And I actually forgot to tell the officer that he was being recorded on live video that was being streamed to the internet. But he was also wearing a body camera, which was recording audio and video as well. So the notification to a law enforcement officer of them being recorded on video is just a courtesy. You do not actually have to notify them, because as a public official, or as a public worker, they do not have any expectation to any rights of privacy while on the job. And that was actually explained to me by a federal judge. And as we all know, city, county, or state agency can create or enforce a law that overrides or countermands a federal law. And that is actually written into the federal law. So, yeah, let's see you, I want to see a city or county judge override, or city, or I want to see city, county, or state override a federal regulation and say that I can't use my evidence. Because the minute they do, I will appeal it and take it all the way up to the federal level. And by the time I'm done, now this one here might piss off a lot of judges and law enforcement officers, but it is the truth, as it was explained to me by a federal judge. Any city, county, or state official, law enforcement officer, or judge that attempts to override a federal regulation can be terminated from employment and possibly even charged with a federal crime if they try to override or countermand a federal law by attempting to enforce, and I'm reading this from notes that I have from that interaction with that judge, by attempting to enforce a local regulation, ordinance, statute, or other type of law that is designed to countermand or override a federal law. As such, any city, county, or state regulation, ordinance, statute, or other ignored, okay, video was interrupted because of a phone call with another customer. It's a customer in an area that I'm no longer able to do because we've basically, without being told that we were basically banned from Marquette Heights. And that goes for all newspaper carriers, because several newspaper carriers have been harassed and or ticketed by the Marquette Heights Police Department for doing their job. So, but yeah, this is going to be interesting in court, because when you do an average of about 10 to 15 miles per hour while delivering newspapers, simply because A, you don't have a chance to get up to any real speed because you have to stop at almost every driveway. Or B, you have to you have to go that slow because of other traffic on the road. Either way, it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. And I just plugged in my charger, so let's see what happens with my phone now. Okay, it's showing a green light on the charger. Okay, there we go. Now it's charging. And yes, my camera is at an angle because it is my phone, and I am not going to fight my phone dock, my phone charger holder dock, whatever you want to call it, to try to get it so it's level. I'm just not doing it. It's a pain in the ass. You guys are actually going to end up seeing me on this road a couple of times. I passed it. Nobody get behind me. Well, anyway, this started off as I'm going to make a video report about traffic or whatever the case may have been. Traffic or let's see, you got traffic, the accident I was involved in on the 15th, general rant and raving about officers abusing their power to try to enforce their beliefs on other people, or trying to force people out of the area that they work in or live in, or both, simply because they don't like what that person does as a job and doesn't believe that it's an actual job and that kids should be doing it. The reason why kids do not deliver newspapers is because, A, you cannot make a contract with a minor. They have to be over the age of 18 to be able to sign a legally binding contract. As such, they can't work for us. I am going to start trying to make review videos for different things that I use or buy, other stuff like that, because it will allow me to possibly get sponsors for different stuff. I am open to testing anything that anyone wants to send to me. Give me just one moment. Okay, anyone who sees this video and would like to send something to me for me to test, you can send it to P.O. Box 6237, Peoria, Illinois 61601. Please include a notation or letter of what the item is. Please include a letter include a letter that describes what the item is, what it's supposed to be used for, and what you want me to do test-wise. Do you want me to use it like normal? Do you want me to beat the crap out of it? What? Do you want me to see if I can find a flaw in the design and see if I can find some way to correct it? I can do all of that. I just need to know. I will probably end up doing all of that. Cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, anything electronic. I have the most confidence in my ability to test. I also have very high confidence in my ability to test anything that's meant to be used with RV trailers or trailer towing in general. Bumper hitch only, because I do not have any fifth wheel or gooseneck capable vehicles. Four-wheel drive stuff, equipment that can be used. And I have it. Okay. And I have to call another customer back. I don't know why my phone is trying to save a screenshot. My phone is acting stupid. Okay, my engine is running. Lights are on. They can move this vehicle if they want to. I'm not parking in handicap spaces on the other side of this junction because I'm not handicapped. Okay, well, I'm back in the car, obviously. I hadn't been called into a principal's office since I was in school. That was definitely an experience for me. Called into the principal's office because in order to get into the school to deliver their newspapers, you have to press a intercom button thing next to the door so that they can buzz you in. And they said, principal wants to talk with you. Okay. Well, I'm going to the principal's office anyway to deliver the newspapers. I go in there. Principal standing there says, why is the paper so late? I'm like, because you guys don't have a regular carrier? They fell and got injured and now I'm delivering it. I'm gonna handle it myself for a while, fix the route list, da-da-da-da. Well, at least I'm gonna try to fix the route list. I'll submit a typed out revised list to my employers, and then they will decide whether they want to change it or not. That one there by itself is going to be another story, though. Oy, 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 oy. Okay. Found out it will cost about $30 to get the transfer case fluid level checked. Or to check any fluid level. And it's not going to cost any extra if I provide the gear oil to be able to top it off. So we'll go from there. Okay, she's done it. Okay. Well, and it looks like I'm going to have to plug my phone in directly. Yay! Okay. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Okay. Now to finish the route. And yes, it is after 9 o'clock. Okay, there's that house. Wow, I've already been live for 2 hours. I'm glad Google and YouTube have a big data storage system. Okay. Where you at there? I think they use that door more often. 1432 what? Give me a second, let me turn the corner here. No. Yeah, there is no 1432. They gave you a bad address. They could have put there. They could have misunderstood it. It could have been 1422. 1422 is the one with the RV. Yep. Okay. Dee. stop with this live.